everyone. As you can probably tell by my hat, I am Viking opera minion Michelle, and today for this Classic Movie Monday, I'm going to be looking into the film Frankenstein, in particular the 1931 version. Apologize, this video has to be uploaded late. Unfortunately, us minions have been relatively busy preparing for Halloween. So we've had to unfortunately delay videos, but we should be caught up by the end of today. So basically Frankenstein is the fourth film within the Universal Monster series, going in order. It is a talkie similar to the previous film that was discussed called Dracula, excuse me. And what I think is rather enjoyable in particular about Frankenstein is we really do get a sense of how sort of he's portrayed, I guess, largely within sort of the modern age. And I think a lot of it stems from this particular film. And the interesting thing also, too, is that this version is also loosely sort of based on the source material, in particular, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. But basically, it follows the similar pattern of Dr. Frankenstein, and in this case, they call him Henry as opposed to Victor for some reason. I don't really understand the name change, but they did that, and you sort of see how he is like overly obsessed with his work, similar to the book, and how he wants to create life, and eventually he does through by using various body parts, and as a result, the Frankenstein monster is born. And oftentimes people associate this film largely with the line, in particular when he creates the monster and he goes, "It's alive, it's alive." You know, the actor, in particular the one that plays Henry, did a really good job, as well as the Frankenstein monster, at least the actor who plays him as well, because you really do get a sense of where the mindset is of each of the characters and how that ends up really impacting the plot. But like the book, you see how sort of Frankenstein is, I mean, he is a little bit misunderstood, but they don't really portray him in as much depth as they do within the book. But unfortunately, he causes some mayhem and destruction, ends up killing some people, and as a result, a mob forms to try to stop him. And you'll see how eventually Henry's character sort of gets involved with that and sort of tries to kind of take responsibility for the monster that he created. But it's fairly stripped down, I would say, as far as a plot is concerned. When it comes to this particular version of Frankenstein, it doesn't try to go in depth too much, but still give you a sense of the whole story and the whole premise of Frankenstein. And I think in particular the image of Frankenstein, like I mentioned before, is largely what we associate with today when it comes to how exactly Frankenstein looks. You know, he's sort of the big giant monster, you know, with the stitches and whatnot, and is oftentimes what you see within advertisement, as well as when people really dress up for Halloween. They'll often use this kind of image to really associate with Frankenstein, even though probably, as you can maybe tell if you have read the book, you know, the real way in which Frankenstein is portrayed is probably a little bit different than what we would come to associate with today. So it is interesting to see them take this very kind of iconic image and make it sort of sustain itself over the years. And I think primarily the makeup really does enhance the whole experience, especially when you really look into how Frankenstein ultimately is portrayed. You do sort of see the monster there. Um, but really, I think that's really the basics of what you would probably need to know when it comes to viewing this particular film. I mean, I think it is rather enjoyable for what it is, but it's not designed to be, I think, as um, well crafted as maybe the book, but at the same time offers a very interesting interpretation, to say nonetheless. And I think that's why a lot of people oftentimes remember this particular version, and it's oftentimes associated too with the whole mob that eventually comes after Frankenstein to sort of destroy him in a way. So it does offer an interesting interpretation as far as that is concerned. And also the ending is considerably different from the book, and might be giving, I think, different messages. And I think it's more of a sort of good versus evil as opposed to the book that kind of highlights um, more into Frankenstein's psyche and makes him a little bit more of a sympathetic character. Whereas here he's just kind of a little bit more stripped down, and although he does maybe have some moments of not being as intimidating, his overall character, I think, is primarily designed to be one that's um, for destruction, and therefore the mob sort of just tries to destroy him. But yeah, I think that's really, though, ultimately all I can say about this particular movie. However, if there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and hopefully I can come back next year. And I wish the next minion luck. Goodbye.